how do we prevent fogging in our dive mask? Well, simply, we need to periodically clean our mask and use a good quality mask defog before every single dive. But before we jump into our topic of prepping our masks, let me introduce myself. So my name is Larry from Channel Island Scuba. Whether you're thinking about starting your open water course, or you're an experienced diver just looking to level up your knowledge base, we are the community of divers asking the same questions that you are, and hopefully we're finding the answers together. If this is your first time joining us, thanks so much for checking us out, and a real special thank you to all of our returning divers. If the information we discuss on this video is of value to you, please like the video, and if you want some more, subscribe to our channel. It really does go a long way to help other divers find us, so we can hopefully add some value to their dives as well. All right, with that, let's dive back into our main topic of preparing our masks for our dive. Before we do anything with our masks, we first need to pre-clean before we bring it into the water our first time at all. So essentially, in the manufacturing process, there's a layer of thin, clear silicone that's left on the inside of your lens. It's just a byproduct of manufacturing. We need to remove that layer of silicone, otherwise it's going to physically give something for the fog to cling onto. No matter how much defog we use, we are not going to have a fog-free mask. But first, before we actually prep it, we need to check to see if we even can clean our mask. Not all masks can or should be cleaned or treated with defog. This process is really only for tempered glass lenses. Any plastic lenses should not be pre-cleaned at all. Shouldn't even use defog on it, because both of those chemicals are going to deteriorate the plastic. That's kind of the main difference between your high quality and low quality masks. The plastic lenses, they're just going to eventually have a lot of fogging no matter what we do, and at that point it's just time for a new one. So to check if ours is a tempered glass mask, we want to look at the lens itself. If we look in the bottom of the mask, we're going to see either the word tempered or we may see just a capital T. If you're not finding either of those, there's a possibility you have a plastic lens. But if you're not sure, double check with the dive shop you bought it from. They're going to know one way or another for sure. By the way, quick note to our freedivers. There are several high quality freediving masks that very intentionally use plastic lenses. It's going to add a lot of flexibility to your mask, especially when it starts to compress on your breath hold dives. Those masks should not be scrubbed or defogged either, being plastic. So the process of actually cleaning your masks, we have a few options. My preferred method is using a commercial mask scrub that's intentionally designed to clean mask lenses. The one I personally use is from Stream to Sea. It comes in this really nice mask defog prep kit that has both the mask scrub inside and a little trial size of the mask defog. This mask defog is going to last you a long time. Personally, I've never finished a bottle. I've always lost them before I had the opportunity to. There are plenty of other fantastic brands out there though. You don't have to go with this one. Anything that's specific for scuba is going to be fantastic. Now in a pinch, you can also use toothpaste to prep your mask instead of your mask scrubs. It's going to take about twice as long than your mask scrubs will, but it works really, really well. If you are planning on using toothpaste, I prefer a plain white style, no gels or anything with your colored streaks in it. If there's a little bit of pumice to it, that's even better. Now, whether we're going to use a mask scrub or we're going to use toothpaste, we want to start off with a dry mask. We'll take our scrub itself and we're going to add about a nickel to quarter size dab on the inside of each lens. So I'm actually going to take a brand new bottle. And about that is the perfect amount. I hope you guys can see that. All right. So I'm going to put that on each lens and I'm going to scrub, scrub, scrub for about 5 minutes. Right? You can scrub the skirt down a little bit, but we're not really too worried about that. You know, kind of just like get it all clean in there. Make sure you're getting around the edges really, really well. We tend to get the center really good, and then we have like a bullet point of no fog and then fog all around. So really like get the nail in there. I wouldn't use anything more abrasive than your finger. Your fingertip is kind of the perfect abrasiveness. A toothbrush would probably just scratch your lens, and that that's not going to help. At a certain point in doing this, and it's going to take a couple more minutes from what I'm going to do right now, it's going to turn from this real liquid into a little bit more of a chalky texture. That's it absorbing that silicone into it. So again, about 5 minutes, we're going to see that consistency change. Okay. At this point, I'm going to rinse off the mask. I normally do this in the sink, scrub it down in the faucet, but what I'm going to use is just a bucket right now so you guys can see it. So really scrub all of this off. Once we've thoroughly rinsed it, I'm going to set it aside to let it air dry, but try and get a good chunk of this stuff off now. Really make sure you're getting into those cracks in there. Really get all of that scrub out. That'll probably be good enough for now. Okay. So once we have it rinsed off, I'm going to set it aside. And I like to just let it air dry. If you use a towel to rinse, to dry the mask, you do risk scratching the lens, and that would end up causing more fogging later on down the road. Okay. Once you've gone through your first round of that, you actually need to do a second round. It takes 2 full rounds of this to make sure that you've got it good enough. So I've already gone through round 1 on this mask. I'm going to check it for round 2. The way I like to check, I'm going to intentionally fog the inside of this mask just by exhaling against it. So you can see where the fog is still clinging onto. That is a good indicator for me to know where I need to really focus on my scrubbing on that second round. Okay. Once you've done that, the mask is prepped. And you really don't need to do it again for a while. After about a year, I personally will re-clean my mask. So this is my personal mask. It's gotten pretty grimy. It's probably not going to come up on the screen, but there's a lot of grime, especially into the corners on it. So I would do a re-cleaning on a mask like this. Like I said, periodically, you can estimate about every year or so, but if you start to see grime build up, just go ahead and re-clean it. Right. Now, another method I've seen out there a lot, I personally don't like it, but I've seen it, is the lighter method. Take a lighter, burn the inside of the lens, and you're actually going to burn off that layer of silicone. Works really well. Takes about 30 seconds to do. Problem with the lighter method, and the reason I don't like it, is that you do run the risk of actually burning where the silicone skirt and the lens form a seal. You can actually damage that seal itself, potentially ruining a brand new mask. I will admit it is somewhat hard to do, but it's a possibility. Most manufacturers, if you use a lighter on the mask, you also void the warranty. So in order to protect my warranty, I also won't use this. In a pinch though, it does work really well. I know it's going to come up in the comment section. I just want to give my 2 cents on it. Let me know in the comments down below too. What method do you like to use? What do you like the lighter? What do you like? What don't you like? I'd love to hear that kind of stuff. So, okay. Once you have prepped your mask, now we need to use some kind of a defog. The defog is to be used before every single dive. Every dive. Anytime the mask comes off of your face and you go to put it back on, it's time for another round of defog. There are gel styles. There are also sprays. I don't really like the sprays personally. They work really well, but in order to be a spray, they just dilute the gels with water. I'd rather just have the undiluted version myself. So in order to prep the mask with defog, to gel defog the first time, I'm going to take my little dab, and I use the smallest amount physically possible. Most manufacturers on the gels recommend about a BB size. Imagine like a BB or airsoft gun. So the smallest amount possible. And I just way overused it. So this is like way more than you need. Once you have it in there, just scrub it on around, get it all over the place, in the corners, along the edges, really get it in there. And then here's the step I find most divers miss. I'm going to take the mask, I'm gonna set it aside for about 5 minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes. If I can put it in the sun and let the sun kind of bake it on there, even better. The gels work the best when they have an opportunity to dry. If you immediately put it in the water and rinse it all off, you've essentially just rinsed off all that defog you put on there and you just kind of wasted it. So letting it dry allows it to fill in all those micro scratches that we can't see. It fills it in so that the fog can't cling onto those micro scratches. Once you've had an opportunity to let it dry, then we do want to rinse it off. You can take one of the mask rinse buckets that are on board a dive boat, or what I personally do, because I don't like putting my mask in a communal bucket, I think it's a little gross. What I personally do is, with all this gel still on there, I put it right on my face. I do my giant stride into the water, and once I'm in the ocean or lake or wherever you're diving, I take it off and I rinse it off in that water. It's probably cleaner than whatever's on the dive boat. But regardless, what you want to do, put it in. I'm gonna just give it a very gentle rub down with my fingers. That's really just to get the chunkiest of stuff off. Then I'll usually kind of shake it around. That'll rinse some more off. And then we're good and prepped. You may still see some streaks from your defog in there. That's okay. Once you're underwater, the water will kind of fill in any chunks you see, and now you have a good clean mask. If you do this properly, you likely won't have any fogging for the entirety of your dive. But remember, the first time you take it off, the defog is gonna wash itself out. If you are clearing your mask a lot underwater, maybe you're an open water student, you're doing your mask skills, or you have an ill-fitting mask and you tend to clear it out a lot. Also, if you tend to exhale through your nose a bunch, you are gonna have some water tracking back in as well. So if you're the type of person that's constantly having to pull the water out of your mask, clear the water out of your mask, you may end up rinsing the defog off throughout the course of your dive, and towards the end of your dive, you may have that fogging again. So just be aware of that. Cool. All right. With that, I'm going to clean some stuff up here a little bit, and I'm going to come back to you, hit you with a conclusion in just a second. Well, guys, I hope this helped you get the most out of your new mask. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a while, something I'm planning on sending out to all my future students and help them out. So I hope you guys really did get a lot out of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What type of methods do you prefer to clean your mask? I am really excited on this one. I think we're gonna have a little bit of a friendly debate going on down in the comment section, especially around my opinion and preferences around the lighter. But anyways, as always, I will try my best to respond to all of your comments whenever I can. If you want to support the things that we're doing here at the channel, we've got a web store. On the web store, we've got all the masks that you've seen today on the video. We have the Stream to See mask prep kit, and we even have our own branded mask defog with the cool Channel Island Scuba logo there. This is from Stream to See, so it is a high quality defog. Anyway, I'm gonna drop a link in the description down below for that. So once again, guys, I am Larry from Channel Island Scuba. Thank you so much for watching. Safe and happy diving.